Hey everyone! Thank you so much for joining Archangel Alts, trading with you live without a net. So, had some technical difficulties. We're working on a multiple stream, running on YouTube, running on Twitter, running on Periscope, running on Twitch, and some other things. And just sometimes these things get a little twitchy, if you know what I mean. So, we're going to do some kind of cool things today. Definitely here to trade with you live without a net, but we're also kind of combining our a little bit of our market analysis, market watch instant insights, since things are a little bit interesting, a little bit slow, a little bit of a combination of this, a little column A, column B, column C, just not column buying because that would be bad. So Gordon Freeman here with you, Archangel Alts, trading with you live without a net. And if your name is a net, you can join us too. Live without a net means we are trying not to hodl anything unless we have intentionally chosen it as a longer position or we are allowing ourselves something within our threshold, which right now we are earning at an accuracy of 98.7% or more. In fact, since we started our soft launch, we have one position that we're waiting to clear. That is our current fuel at 339, I want to say. I mean, do I really want to say it? Sure, why not? Fuel, yes, 339. Love fuel, been doing really good stuff. 2,800 BTC 24-hour volume. So we're going to go over market watch analysis. We're doing live day trading. I'm trying to find ways to keep up with chat. I'm trying to create like one universal chat that can stream through all things. But the best thing for you to do, please, if you find this stuff interesting, we want to build our community around you. So come and join us. If you are just learning, if you're just a casual crypto interestee, you want to learn how to day trade but you don't have a clue what you're doing, we have been putting together all of the resources for you, things that we know that you will find a benefit. So please, in whatever information you see through this stream, you probably see, come join us, the Archangel Alts getting started. Or Forever Unlimited, but probably the getting started. It'll all lead you to the right place if you just read. Please click and join us. You do not have to pay anything to join us. If you are interested in our subscription plan, 99 reoccurring a month, it comes to roughly $3 a day, and we intend to give you an incredible value for your money. We are here to provide insights into the news, into the current finger on the pulse of cryptocurrency world. We are here really as a thought leader to help lead people out of the darkness into the light, free man. We want to help lead the crypto revolution, making big changes in money and society in the future of freedom to be able to make your own decisions about your future. And a lot of people think that the best way to support cryptocurrency is to just choose one thing and hodl. We are here to not to dispute anything that is an ideology that is important to somebody, but to show people that there are true values to learning how to day trade effectively. The bottom line of this is mass adoption. Mass adoption is the thing, the finger on the pulse of cryptocurrency. Mass adoption comes from liquidity. I'm going to keep banging this drum until I know that it's making sense. So what is liquidity? Liquidity is the ability to buy and sell and trade on the market. That's plain and simple. So if you think about, let's say you've got your favorite coin and you want to trade that against other coins, you might feel like, okay, well, I buy this and I really believe that it is going to go up. So you buy some of that coin and you hold on to it. And a few thousand, tens of thousands even, other people have the same ideas that you do. You know, I really like this coin. I like what they stand for, so I'm going to hold on to this coin, which is great. The problem is that the growth of the coin is waiting on other people to choose to use that coin for things. And so they, will have set up things for the coin to be able to provide a purpose. If everybody holds the coin, number one, or number two, builds up a value in the coin and then cashes out of that coin, they are not really providing any short-term towards the long-term liquidity to the market. So why does that matter? It matters a great deal because crypto is not going to catch on without blockchain is not going to catch on without crypto, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But anywhere you think of a market of people blogging, a market of people doing videos, a market of people doing social network things, a market of people buying and selling things where cryptocurrency payments are allowed. There's nowhere like any of our desperate countries, third world countries, brothers and sisters living in very hard times under tyranny, under regimes, under socialist tyrants, communist government stuff. I'm not trying to take a side, so I'm trying to choose my words wisely, but people know that there is oppression. And so this resonates with them in the places where that oppression is the most challenging to their culture, to their way of life. And so when there is crisis, there is hope. So we are here to be a part of the answer and hope. It means learning a lot of interesting things about money and global economy. And right here on the Binance Exchange is where things are happening. So this is a snapshot of the healthiest part of that global economy. And day trading can be something where people are looking to take advantage of other people, sweep in and, try to push the market in a certain direction and take the proceeds and run. That certainly was my impression of it from years and years and years back with Wall Street stuff, because everybody, talks about, you're owning shares in a company or a collection of different companies based on the level of risk that you're willing to take and what you're looking to reap from the benefits. Well, we're told to long-term invest, but those that are in the inside circles have built electronic and fiber optic and even satellite ping connections to databases that are giving them as much of an inside edge as possible. I mean, down to the microseconds, to where they want to make sure that they can get their trades in faster than anybody else on Wall Street. And they do it in these fast microtransactions. They have actual special codes built into the transaction saying "me first." And so, they're telling us, go slow, go long, invest for 10, 15, 30 years. You promise not to touch your money and we'll get rich off of it. And that just kind of sort of doesn't resonate with me. When I learned that I had an ability to trade and trade well, it made me realize that, wow, if I do this right, if I work extremely hard and develop this skill, I can develop a process around this skill. And as that continued to work, I'm thinking, this is something that maybe I could show friends or family how to do this, but I can use their help to try to make the system work. So, as we look into the different elements that developed, we found that this is something that you have to stay in, for the months that it takes to build to a certain point, but it works. It works and it works and it works. And so short-term trading is a way of thinking of taking your typical day trader solutions to things, taking your long-term investment solutions to things, and kind of combining the two into a process that is unlike anything else that you have seen. And so we're talking exponential growth, and exponential growth is bound to be good for anybody that is looking to improve their personal economic situation. So I am not your financial advisor. Do your own research. Anything that we say here is for edutainment, for entertainment purposes only, but I think that learning things is fun. I hope you do too, and I definitely find it interesting and entertaining to learn how to make more money. So this is one small part of your life, but it's an impacting part that matters a great deal. So learning how to manage assets, that's part of this. Learning a process that works, that's another part of this. Here we are to live day trade with you, and I'm going to check and make sure that everything is set up correctly to be able to see any comments if they are there. So YouTube is they're trying so hard to change their layout in beta, and it's just it's not working so good. So looks like comments and information, I think, are accurate. Yes, they are accurate for the most part. With the sound off, I'm going to check and see that the live stream is working correctly. Let's see. I'm going to refresh this just to make sure that I want to post. To make sure that everybody has the link. If you're looking at YouTube, I'm working on this part of it now. You might be finding us on a lot of different other places. So if that's the case, then that is cool. I'm going to post this information over here. Yeah. So I'm going to say join our group to chat. And then I'm going to post the link to the group. And just keep it as simple as that. And so now people should be able to go straight to our getting started page, which I'm going to show you right now. Full screen. Browser sites. Cheers. Okay, so you can see Kakashi is here to answer any questions that you have. Boy, I was getting used to hearing the song. So this is our getting started page. Well, I should do a tour of the whole website, but I'm going to keep this short for you. So join our community. It's free. Join forever. Why work with us? Lots of good reasons. This is where we show you how we've done fairly well. In fact, I will show you just so you can see. You probably won't hear the sound. So what this is we opened up our order books when we first started doing this stuff. Hey, cool. Look, Archangel Alt is live right now. Isn't that cool? Oh, I've got it at a really low resolution. Yeah, I'm trying to keep the streaming working good. It's good. So here we go. So what you can see is these are the dates. This goes up to the 23rd of 2019. And these are all just our cells. That was back to the 23rd. And let's see, it'll probably start scrolling soon, so you'll see that happen. So this is the coin, this is the price, this is how much of the coin, this was the total value, these were the fees involved, etc. So now it's going to start scrolling. So now it's going to start. There you go. Yes, sir. So what you see there is there's over 6,000 cells. And that was not for every single thing that we've done. I don't remember what the first period of time was there. But I think that it covered maybe about 11 months, if I remember correctly. We have two different places we're trading from, and I like to work from one in the browser. I like to work from the other, from the client, which is what you see here. This is the client that you can download for Mac or Windows, as far as I understand. It works on both. Works really good here on Windows. Very well. Yeah, things are very low in volume right now. So you can see that. Ooh, I don't know all these scary people. What you will learn. So blockchain education, mining solutions, crypto trading. Mining, yeah, not so many solutions there really. Bitcoin took about $1 million drop. It went down from about 4,000 to 39.94, and yeah, that brought it up from 70 million to 71 million, just like that. Crypto training, boom, boom, boom. Sign up. Why choose crypto in the first place? Lots of good reasons. So, good stuff here. You have this MarketWatch Instant Insights, live update. That was back in February. Connect with our community. So yeah, you really should. So do that. So this tells you about our packages. We got our Forever Free, Forever Unlimited, for beginners and for growing traders. So I mean, you can join and join for free. Especially right now, we're giving like a lot more of the goodies away for free than what it'll be once we build our subscriber base deeper. Access to our private live streams is part of what you would pay for. Right now, we're allowing you to see a lot more of this. So I'm just keeping the information a little bit more on the surface than the more deep dive that we're doing for paid members. Access to our playbooks, each new course added to your membership area. 3 free day trial. 3 free day trial. Cancel anytime, no obligations. So if you want it free, you'll just click here. And that took us back to here. So you're going to do this. Boom. Put your name, put your email. Boom. And I personally will set you up in our group and send you an invite. So just do this thing. Looking forward to seeing you there. All right. Good. Yes, it's good. It's all good. So now we're going to go back to the client. And I'm going to take you here to Bitcoin. So yes, Crypto Revolution. We are here to help lead the way. That is our purpose for being here. So who are you and what do you do? I am Gordon Freeman, leader of the free world, or, in my own mind, whatever. We're with Archangel Alts. Gordon Freeman, in the spirit of Satoshi Nakamoto, who is the cryptographer who created the white paper for what became Bitcoin. In the spirit of the forum communities where all these things are discussed, where people are themselves, but they believe in the power of and the fundamental principles of anonymity and the freedom from being tracked by governments and big corporations and institutions and powerful insider groups. People deserve to have a certain a level of anonymity. So, working with pseudonyms makes sense to us. We have very busy lives, but we are dedicated. We're all in on this crypto thing. That's why we put everything out there. Literally, you can see every single thing that we're waiting on to sell. And do the same thing with the browser when we're using that here. That's what we're all about. Yeah. He's good, yeah. So, tell you a little bit about my journey with this stuff. Okay. Gonna tell you a little story about a man named Gordon for all intents and purposes. Like most people, started really paying attention to crypto when the big $19,000 thing happened. Studied global economics for years and years and years. Found a lot of things that were very interesting. Much of those ideas became what we know of as Bitcoin today. Knew about Bitcoin, followed about Bitcoin. My main concern with it for many, many years was just the currency part of cryptocurrency. You're not really technically allowed to do some of the things that it sounded like it was doing, but because there is no government that owns it, I was pretty sure it was just a matter of time before they just kind of blocked it from the internet access side of things. You people from this location, you're not allowed to use this thing, yada yada. So obviously when it equaled $1, that was a big milestone. When it became $100, that was a big milestone. Obviously $1,000, huge milestone. But all along that way, it was proving that, first of all, the code works, the blockchain works. It has never really broken. Hacks have happened, yes. Accounts have been stolen, yes. Mt. Gox happened, yes, look it up. And yet the actual fundamentals of the white paper have never failed. The process works. So, we heard about the 8,000, 10,000, 12,000, 16,000, 19,000, and, watched at that point to learn a little bit more. Had a family member that gave us some Litecoin for Christmas and just thought that was really neat. So just talked and learned and talked, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And, realized that, gosh, there's this, it's not like just, buy a coin and try to figure out a position. This is like a real stock exchange. And this concept, yes, it had been going for a few years, it's true, but the legitimacy of the trading options for coins was really hampered by things like Mt. Gox, people losing a lot on exchanges, people getting hacked. and tricked on things. So Binance was relatively new, but it was coming out of just a really we're going to lead the industry. We're going to do this stuff right. So tested lots of different exchanges. Definitely centered in on Binance as being the better one. So in that time, we tested with small trades and did well. The trickiest part of the first several weeks was just understanding fees, making sure that we were paying and doing the right thing above those fees. Tested with bots. Thought that was really the way to go, mainly because it'll close your positions for you, which really does make it a lot easier. I can't really say that I miss that part because I enjoy doing everything manually right on the exchange. But I am going to do an in-depth video just on the one bot that I actually like. We don't use it, but I'm not, I wouldn't say that I'm never going to use it. But just super easy to use, and I just found that I'm actually a little bit more accurate and a little bit quicker than the bot. But spent what probably comes to a couple of months just learning how to program different settings and that sort of thing. Very interesting stuff. So, doing the first few trades was really exciting to see. Yeah, it did actually earn some pennies. That was cool. Let me do a little bit more, earning more pennies. That was even cooler. I remember the first day that I counted the number of trades, and they were all successful, and I was doing paper trading, and so I did some more and started doing it for real. And another person close to me, when I say we come from humble beginnings, I mean, we literally tested as small a trade size as a person can possibly do, and as small an earning that will count once you factor in all the fees and everything. We wanted to grow this from as base a level as humanly possible, and we discovered that I made it through the first 28 trades, and we were still earning. And so our pennies were adding up. We were making it to our first time, coming from those eight positions after the decimal, 8 decimals, 8 positions. Going from that to 7 to 6, seeing our first earnings actually, rise in decimal positions was really exciting. Second day, I believe I did 36 trades, all at a profit. Continued going and going, and we did our first 1,170 trades without taking a loss. The next one we did take a loss on, and the reason for that was that we saw that it was going south, so we decided to just pay the fees. So we actually didn't take a loss. We just zeroed it out, and so that was the right decision. So as we went along, we realized that sometimes you're going to choose a position and it does what you want immediately. Sometimes it takes more than a couple of hours, more than a few hours, more than a day. And after it goes a certain time, we consider that a hodl. And hodl stands for hold on for dear life. I do understand that, and some people mean it as in I am never getting rid of this coin. Other people mean it as in I wouldn't dare lose this much money on my bags I'm holding, that kind of thing. So learned a lot about dust and how to handle that. You can look it up. You'll see what it means, cryptocurrency dust. How to manage all these different things. So as we went along, working the process, successfully developing a system around our capabilities, managing holds, the question, the hodls, it becomes a question of accuracy once again. Let's say you never ever make a mistake, then you don't really have to worry. You're just making, good assumptions 100% of the time. Nobody's going to do this right 100% of the time. It's not humanly possible. It's not robotically possible. So, at some point in time, you're going to hold something. Well, if you don't have a whole lot of money to begin with, you need to figure out just how much do I need in order to keep the process rolling. So we started developing a system for not only handling the primary circulation of trades, but what does it take not to stop? What does it take not to get stuck? So we realized that, you can't shrink this down to zero or, even like a dollar size trade because there is a limit to how small of a trade you can do. On Binance, technically they consider it in Bitcoin world what would be $10. But what we found is that there's some things that because of the value of the coin and the amount of decimals that it works by, that there are some that just won't work that small. And we found that if we made our smallest position 0.0018, that pretty much covered everything. So we just pretend that the smallest trade you can do is $20 in Bitcoin world, which here's how we do it. Imagine that Bitcoin is worth $10,000. Just 1.0 equals $10,000. Not that we're saying that it must be equal to that for the system to work, but you need to have an understanding of how to work in the decimals. So pretend that 1 is your 10,000th position, 10,000 position. And 0.1 is your 1,000 position. 0.01 is your 100s, then your 10s, then your 1s, then your 10 pennies, and then your 1 penny, and then fractions of a penny. So a $20 Bitcoin position will be 0.002. Right now, that is worth, less than half of that. It's probably like an $8 position. But Bitcoin goes up to $20,000 tomorrow, and it'll be, a $40 position. So you have to forget about that. Once you cash into the Bitcoin world, think of Bitcoin as being your imaginary friend dollar until you are so wealthy that you start cashing out. So doing as small as a $20 position, you can trade that and trade that and trade that until you start to run out of positions because some of them are holding. How accurate are we on those holding positions? Very complicated to actually test that. But we found that it seems like greater than 80% of the time, always, we are at that level of accuracy on our hodls. So we're more than 98.7% accurate on our trades clearing. And then if something holds for more than 2 weeks, those tend to clear at a better than 80%. So somewhere between what you're able to clear in a day, what you're able to clear in an hour or two, what the market, the crazy market is doing, whether Bitcoin is taking things up or down with it, whether the volume is extremely high or low with it, trades are happening very quickly or slow. All these different things factor in. And the bottom line result of all of this is that you can circulate a certain amount of trades at a profit a certain amount of time before you have enough available to where you are growing that trade size. So let me see. I'm going to go here. Make sure I'm not missing any questions right now. Which I can't totally technically do because, my goodness, there are so many different things going on here. I wonder why that doesn't look like it's working. Oh, because I paused it? Could that be? Anybody heard of Vaughn Live? Seems like it could be interesting. Okay, so I'm going to close out some of these windows. I think they're doing what they're supposed to do. I'm looking at Smashcast right now to see whether it's working there or not. I think that it might be. Looks like it's saving video, so even when stuff was wrong, maybe we'll see. So it says that video input is good. Got the right information here, so that's good. I'm going to give this a little bit longer, but a Smashcast can't actually take me to the cast in to smash. Alright, we'll see. Okay, it looks like it's working. Sort of. Okay, I think we're good there. Gonna close that out. I know, isn't this fascinating? See? Okay, almost there, I promise you. So I'm guessing you're not allowed to do a link as part of a Periscope. That's very strange. Okay, so can't tell people to join your group even though it's your group. That's very strange. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out somehow. Alright. So just wanted to make sure the stream was working. It seems like it's working in the different places that I'm tracking its progress. BTT has made it to 22. So good for you if you're one of the 722 Bitcoin trying to buy in at 21 to sell off at 22. So isn't that interesting? This is the wild, wild world of BitTorrent in the hands of Justin Sun. Yep. So I've been telling you a story about how we got started growing and growing. And, you know, the bottom line of this stuff is that we've developed a system. We've got it down to a process called the rule of fifths and the principle of thirds. And you put these two things together and you're looking at your rate of circulation to develop intervals. Put them all together and what have you got? Exponential growth. What is exponential growth? Glad you asked, partner. So we're going to do this again, and it's going to be fun. You're going to enjoy this. Okay. So full browser, let's see. Not yet. Got to get the right page open for you real quick. Here we go. All right. So now we're set up. So here is, I love this thing. It's a Rapid Tables Exponential Growth Calculator. I just find it that it does the math that I'm looking for very easily. So I'm going to start by showing you the most basic of the rule of fifths. So let's say that you want to start with a $20 trade as that being your minimum. So you're wanting to circulate that without getting stuck in a position, okay? So we found that at your first layer, we want to say, okay, how many do you want to be able to circulate at a time without running out of items to circulate within the hours or within a trading day? And so we found that if you're doing a trade and then you do another trade, you find another trade, you start getting 3 or 4 deep. There's a chance that it's not that you're stuck in a position or that you are wrong about a position, but they've got to be able to wait until they clear. And so you don't want to not be able to move forward while you're waiting for something to clear. So we've made it to where the first level is just, pick your trade size and then multiply that by 5 so that you can always be putting in trades. Your second level is taking that times 5. So you're doing $20 trades and you have 5 of them available to circulate at any given time. As you are going, one of those eventually is not going to come back to you with a profit right away. It might be 2 hours, it might be 2 days. And so you don't want to have this system where you're trying to earn over a long period of time to where you constantly have to stop and start it every time you get stuck. And what if you're not so super good to begin with and it takes you a little while to get there, you might find that weeks are going by and you can only put in one trade here and there. So this is to get you through, layer 1 is to get you to where you're always circulating your couple of trades at a time while you're gaining accuracy. Your second level is to make sure that over time, as you start accumulating one hodl here, one hodl there, that you're still continuing that same process. So think of like as if you were circulating 2 or 3 at a time and 1 or 2 are clearing. So you can continue that process one day and then the next day and the day after that, and it just continues along. So that works over time. That's your second layer of the rule of fifths. Your third layer of the rule of fifths is over time, you are accumulating a certain number of those hodls. What does it take in order for you to continue to reach your profit while you're going for an extended period of time? You have now accumulated hodls, and those take a while, in the weeks, sometimes maybe even months before they clear. So even at a rate of accuracy of 80% or so, you're probably not going to do quite as well as that. And nobody should be expected to do 98.7% accuracy. That just happens to be what we're doing. So we've set this to where you still really need an incredible level of accuracy, around 95% for this to work. So in order for you to grow from a size of a $20 trade and continue to grow your exponential growth curve, you're going to use the rule of fifths, the first one, in order to be able to continue to circulate while you're waiting for your good positions to clear over hours and hours and hours. Your second level is that as you start to accumulate one hold here or there or longer positions, take a day or two, maybe a little bit longer to clear, that you can continue that for days. You want to continue growing until you reach certain milestones, and we have set where those milestones should be according to your accuracy level. The math works, the process works. That's why we do it the way that we do it. Your third level is that over time, as you're getting aggressive and you're continuing to put in those 2 or 3 trades at a time, and most of them are continuing to clear within a short period of time, and you accumulate those hodls over and over over days or weeks. Some of them clear, some of them take more time to clear. So that third level allows you the amount of time that it takes to do so. And wow, Bitcoin is its sell-off time. So it just became 2 a.m. somewhere. We're going to switch over to this immediately so that we can show you what's going on with the coin of Bitness. So $40 sold off just like that. $39.60. Another million. Okay, so I should interrupt myself to say that When we're watching the volume drop this much, one of these things is bound to happen. It's going to happen very quickly. So, these are the times where you can't possibly know which time it is, but every time the hour changes, you should basically just be looking just to make sure you know what's going on. So, we'll see what kind of effect that is happening. Probably not anything major right away. D&T, good. Raven, good. Storm's doing really well. ONT is losing a little bit of ground. Myth is an interesting project. And looking forward to it getting some volume behind it. Okay, Nano, Theta. None of these are really seeing the drop yet, and that is because of Bitcoin's low volume. Very, very interesting. Yeah, I'm going to put it back on Bitcoin just for a moment, and then I'm going to tell you my incredibly interesting story, because I know you want to hear that. Inquiring minds want to know. So this brings us kind of where we were over here. It's getting a little lower now. So at this point, I've been saying 3850 for a while. I think that 3900 should be our new standard to set wherever it is. So if it can stay above 39 for a week and show that it can handle that at this low volume, then that would be a really big deal. That could be a good thing. So we'll see how that does. So yeah, it's a very risky time to trade, so I'm going to just continue telling you my story. And that's just the way that things work. So if you, let's say, were using the rule of fifths and 2,500 is the most you could possibly invest. So you're going to start at a $20 in the Bitcoin world, 0.002. $20 trade. We're only looking to get 0.5% of a value. So you're actually looking to sell at 0.7. And that takes care of your Binance fees. You don't need to worry about it. Anything bigger than that is gravy. That's awesome. So what does that get you? $20 at a 0.5% gets you 10 cents. Let's do the math. $20 times 0.005 equals 0.1 plus 20. Boom. $20.10. Congratulations, you've earned 10 cents off of your $20. Let me ask, if you put that $20 in your savings account, your interest earning savings account, how long will it take for your $20 to earn you 10 cents? Ask somebody and find out. So let's say that you've done that successfully and you want to do it 10 times. Before I show you that, here's what I want to do. I want to show you what it would be like if you did this. 0.005 equals that times 10 equals that plus 20. You would now have $21. Seriously, that's awesome. So what is the exponential growth version of this? You'd have $21.02. Okay, well, big whoop, right? I know. It ain't no big thing. Most of us would not be thrilled about the extra 2 cents that we made. Is it worth the trouble? So let's look at the exact same thing. Going to keep doing this times 0.005 equals that times 50 plus 20. So we would have taken our 20 from $20 to $25, and I've done all of this, man. I remember this so well. $24 was like so exciting. We'd finally gotten there. Okay, so what's the difference between that and if we were doing exponential growth? So you're telling me the difference between 10 trades and 50 trades, we have now earned 66 cents more than what we would have had if we just did all of our trades at this size all the time. So here's what you should be thinking in terms of exponential growth. In 50 trades, starting at $20, you have $5 that you're circulating that you did not have before. You earned that. Now, obviously, you're taking into consideration the fact that you could have a hodl here and there. So we are trying to choose positions that logic and history, recent history, have told us that if you work the process correctly, eventually most of those will clear. by the time that some of your early positions maybe are going to hold for a couple of months, you were wrong here, you were wrong there, very rarely, that those will not have a negative impact on your growth. You want to grow with those that you are circulating enough so that your accuracy works in your favor. So let's say that you've done this 100 times. Okay, how much are you earning over what you should actually be expecting? Times 0.005 equals that, times 100 equals that, plus 20 equals that. Okay, you are now ahead by $2.93. So here's what I want you to understand on such a small scale as this. First of all, let's say that you were looking at this as 100 trade cycles, okay? The first time around that you do this, you go from $20 to $32 basically. So the next cycle, the next 100 obviously is going to grow the same type of trades at a faster rate if you're starting with a larger amount, okay? So if you think about this, every single temporary part of your $2,500 that you start with circulation is broken down into $20 positions and one $32 position. But that 32 is always standing in the place of the others. You're always using the extra profits. In this case, $12.93 that you have grown your $20 that you started with. You're adding that $12.93 to your 20. So you just use 20 number 2, 20 number 3, whichever one is in the position. Now, if you get stuck, the whole thing is stuck. Okay, so your hodls have to be accounted for. That's why we've got this process to account for that. You want to be able to grow into your exponential growth. So we're only providing these calculations to show you what this looks like, okay? So now 200, you would be at 54. What is the difference in that versus the linear? 20 times 0.005 is our 0.5% equals that times 200 equals that plus 20. Boom. So instead of being at $40 now, you're at $14.23 higher than that. You've made $54.23 instead of 40. Anybody looking at this should think that that's significant. So what would your rule of fifths tell you that you could do with, let's say you want to do $100 trades. Okay, so you take 100 times 5 equals that, times 5 equals that, times 5 is going to be $12,500. Yes. So that seems like a lot of money to do $100 trades, but you're only circulating the part that you are earning a profit on. So let's look at our first 10 of 100, okay? And this is why you're definitely going to want to be able to budget whatever you can possibly afford to do. This is like, instead of putting it into your 15 to 30 year retirement plan, what can you do in, let's say, 2 years by trading this on crypto? So 100 times 0.005 equals this, times 10 equals this, plus 100. So now we're doing $100 instead of our $20 example, and we have an extra 11 cents. Okay, remember, first time we did this on $20, our first 10 trades, I believe, brought us 2 cents. And not a lot of people are going to be super thrilled about that, just like with this, they're not super thrilled about 11 cents. Now, you've earned $5 from 10 trades, which is fantastic. But what I'm telling you is that you have this 11 cents that is going to build on top of that. So, you know, why did Einstein say that the greatest power, the greatest force in the universe was compounding interest? Boy, what if he had gotten a hold of this, you know? So, 100 times 0.005 equals this, times 100 equals this, plus this. So we can see our comparison. Not the right number. 100 times 0.005 equals that, times 100 equals that, plus 100. There we go. So we should be at $150 by now if we've done 100 trades. But we are up by $14.66. I mean, that should tell you, wow, you know, first 100 trades. So what about 500 trades in? Not going to tell you that yet. We come to 100 times 0.005 equals times 500 equals plus 100 equals $350. So you will have grown in 500 trades your $100 trade into $350. So that's $250 profit. So exponentially, if you're rolling those 11 cents, those 66 cents at a time, no way. No way. No way, right? Something must be right. Something must be wrong, right? Okay. So I'm going to show you at 300 just to show you how this is growing exponentially. It compounds on top of itself so quickly after a while. It's amazing. Times 0.005 equals that times 300 equals that plus 100. All right, so we should be at $150 profit by the time we've done 300 trades. So you can see it's already accelerating that much. You have made $346 instead of $150. It's double. It's more. Okay. So 100 after 1,000 trades, you should be at 14 grand. So in Bitcoin world, that would be the equivalent of 1.4 Bitcoin earned from $100. Now, yes, I understand it took you $12,500 to circulate in order to guarantee that that process worked. And yes, if you have 100% accuracy, you're not even going to need a lot of that. But I mean, after 1,000 trades, let's say that takes you 1,000 days to grow $100 into $14,000. Tell me what you know about that in 2 years or so can earn 10 grand off of $100. I mean, there's just not anything out there like that. So I'm not the only person that understands exponential growth. I'm not the only person that knows about exponential growth. It's just that it tends to be used over decades to very safely, very quietly grow your money, while others invested aggressively with day trading using bots with special programmed in codes that says me first in the stock market, so that their micro trades are going through earning them money off of your money, and they give you something very long and very safe to wait your entire lifetime on, so that you can retire someday hoping that that money actually exists. Is it worth taking a risk within a 2 or 3 year period of time for the same kind of growth where you're the one that's in control, you're the one that is doing the hard work to get it there, but you have somebody, for the first time there is something like this, or somebody that is not just willing but asking you, please allow me to show you how to do this. So like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I take all of this with a grain of salt because this is for entertainment purposes, but here we are showing you on the exchange what exactly we're doing. These are our trades. This is everything that we were holding from the beginning of time, or some might call it a year ago. So 15 months in, this is all we're holding. Okay, there's a lot of value in here. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to have all this available to trade, but it is, I mean, we're calling it 98.7 because I know that that's the lowest that it's been. We're actually outperforming that. We've been almost at 100% since we launched the program. I would love for you to go through and study all of the previous videos. Watch us as we're trading all this different stuff. I try not to repeat myself a whole terrible amount because there's always something new going on, but the same truths do repeat themselves over and over again. So wasn't this at 86? 84. So we've gone from 84 down to 78 on MFT, which kind of makes it a good buy-in, but that's just way too much to wait on for that too low a circulation volume. Rin's headed down now. Oh, you did it, didn't you? Okay. So, well, not as bad as I thought. Okay, that's not really all that bad. Yeah, the Bitcoin dropped about $25, so that didn't exactly help a lot. But, it is what it is. Key is going to try to make its way back up to 78-ish at some point in time. One of these days it'll make it there. Interesting. So been learning to get around on Twitter. There's interesting people there, people that really seem to care about crypto. And let me tell you that, from global economics, I do think that there's a downside to this. I do think that, like many things, this eventually gets more and more into, kind of greedy centralized hands. So that kind of thing is just bound to happen. But, there's a period of time that I think is an opportunity that doesn't come around in any of our lifetimes more than once. It's a multi-generational thing that none of us have really seen this kind of thing happen before. So I hope to encourage you to go through our videos, study. If you're starting from the very beginning, learn the Binance basics, learn the difference in all the different charts, go through giving you an introduction to be able to read all of this stuff, using the Binance client, using the browser, doing all these different things. And so as you go through these, I hope that you'll find that this is really interesting, fascinating. You can look at the video where we show our trades. I will continue to do that. I have videos that are called the Tried and True Trade Update. And you'll see our recent clears. So I go through all of those different things, put it right out there. I'll show you what we're currently hodling. And we've been decreasing those as we go along, which is really kind of exciting. So just all of these things should encourage you to want to learn more. So please do join us. Join our group, Archangel Alts. Go to the Getting Started page. Join us. You don't have to pay anything. You can do the Join Forever free. We hope that you find that the value is worth joining the subscription plan. It's $99 reoccurring. And with that, if you break that down to $3 a day, you're going to be getting, not only can you mirror all of our trades that we're going to be doing more and more of as our subscription base grows, but we will give you, a kind of deeper dive into the news, the market watch analysis, everything that is going on with crypto. And you can ask us stuff that we will immediately put into the queue for the video stuff. Any kind of market analysis, you want a specific coin that you need more information about, you have questions about specific positions, I will give my opinion. Once again, I'm not your financial advisor, but when you spend 24/7 working this stuff, you tend to have a little bit of a good idea of what's likely to happen with stuff. So hope you find this interesting. I'm not going to try to go into any trades right this second. I'm going to wait for Bitcoin to do its thing. And I don't want to drag this out as a really long day trading video because I'm not sure when we're actually going to start to get our next trade in. So earlier we cleared our fuel that we were looking to clear, and we went in again, we cleared it again. So this is Bitcoin's current positions. A little bit of change over there, but I think it's going to continue doing some of this. The buy-in is going to have to happen in the 80 million if it's going to sustain. So we'll continue watching that and see what happens. So thank you so much for watching. Gordon Freeman helping to lead the crypto revolution. Please join. Mass adoption is the thing. Mass adoption is going to come from liquidity. Liquidity comes from trading altcoins and Bitcoin on a legitimate exchange. Binance is our exchange of choice. You can join by using our referral link in our YouTube videos. If you don't see it, contact us. Join our Archangel Alts Getting Started. Choose your plan and come join us. I will personally sign you into our group. So thank you so much for watching. Archangel Alts out.